Right now, inside every single cell of your body, there are genetic instructions that were not written by evolution alone. Your DNA contains instructions from 8 million years ago, written by ancient viruses that infected your ancestors before humans even existed as a species. Ancient viral code. Here's the part that should stop you cold. One of those viral instructions is so critical to human survival that without it, none of us would be here at all. Not you, not me, not any human being alive on this planet. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one, and why scientists call it one of the most accidental yet essential discoveries in all of biology. Most people who hear this the first time refuse to accept it, but if you make it to the final minute, you'll see yourself, and every human being, in a completely different light. Stay until the end. Roughly 8% of your entire genome is made up of ancient viral DNA. 8%, not dormant junk, not evolutionary noise, instructions still running. In the next 10 minutes, I will show you exactly what they are saying. Your genome map. Before we get to the viral instructions, you need to understand what we are actually looking at when scientists examine human DNA, because the scale of what I am about to describe is almost impossible to comprehend. Your genome, the complete set of genetic instructions inside every one of your approximately 37 trillion cells, contains about 3 billion base pairs. That is 3,000,000,000 individual chemical letters, strung together in a sequence so precise that a single misprint in the wrong location can cause cancer, trigger a genetic disorder, or quietly reshape who you are. If you printed your entire genome as a book, you would need about 200 volumes, each the size of a phone directory. Reading it out loud at 1 letter per second would take you 95 years. Scientists spent 13 years and $7 billion just to read it once. That was the Human Genome Project, completed in 2003. When researchers finally read through every single letter, they found something they were not expecting. The genome was not a clean blueprint written by human evolution. Something else had been riding in it. Something ancient, something viral. It was not just a record of human ancestors. It was a record of everything that had ever infected them. And what they found hiding inside it changes everything we thought we understood about what we are. Starting with a number that should not be possible. The viral 8%. What scientists found was not random noise. It was not dead code or evolutionary filler sitting in the gaps. What they found was that 8% of you, nearly 1 in every 12 letters of your DNA, came from viruses, not just any viruses, retroviruses. Ancient retroviruses that infected creatures millions of years before modern humans walked the earth. These sequences are called endogenous retroviruses, or ERV. There are over 98,000 of them scattered throughout your genome, more than the number of actual human protein-coding genes. Let that settle for a moment. You have more ancient viral remnants in your DNA than you have human genes. The genome we call human is not entirely human at all. For years, scientists dismissed these sequences as junk DNA, meaningless leftover code from infections that happened millions of years ago. They were completely wrong. The evidence that overturned that assumption is still one of the most startling findings in modern biology. If this is already bending your mind, you are exactly where you should be. Hit like and subscribe, because the next revelations are even harder to believe. We are just getting started. And the mechanism by which these viruses got inside your genome in the first place is where this story becomes a biological thriller unlike anything you were taught in school. How viruses embed. What I am about to explain completely changes how you think about viruses and about yourself. Most viruses invade a cell, use its machinery to replicate and move on. But retroviruses are different. They are the ultimate biological hijackers. When a retrovirus infects a cell, it does not just use the cell, it rewrites it. The virus converts its genetic material into DNA using a special enzyme called reverse transcriptase, then literally inserts that DNA directly into the host genome. The host's own cellular machinery then reads the viral DNA as if it were its own. HIV is a modern retrovirus. It works exactly this way. Now imagine an ancient retrovirus, millions of years more primitive, infecting not just any cell, but a reproductive cell, a sperm cell, an egg cell. When a virus infects a germ cell, it does not just infect one body, it infects every descendant, every child, every grandchild, down through millions of generations. One infected ancestor, and the viral sequence becomes part of the species forever. 1. Retrovirus infects a reproductive cell. 2. Viral DNA integrates into host genome. 3. Every offspring inherits the viral sequence. 4. Sequence passes through all future generations. The number of times this happened to our ancestors across millions of years is staggering. And the timeline of exactly when it happened is where this story becomes deeply, uncomfortably personal. Ancestors infected. Think about your great-grandmother, your great-great-grandmother. Keep going back. 100 generations, 1,000, 10,000. Now go back far enough, and you find the moment the deal was made. The oldest endogenous retroviruses in the human genome date back between 30 and 100 million years, to the age of early primates, before monkeys and apes even diverged on the evolutionary tree. But the sequences most relevant to what makes us distinctly human, the ones that set our genome apart from other great apes, those began accumulating approximately 8 to 10 million years ago. 8 million years ago, before the human lineage fully separated from our common ancestor with chimpanzees and bonobos. Creatures walking the African landscape or living in the trees above it were getting infected by retroviruses. Those viruses embedded themselves into reproductive cells. Those creatures had offspring, and those offspring had offspring. Every human alive today carries the same ancient viral sequences, because every one of us descends from those same infected ancestors. The virus spread not through contagion, not through touching or breathing, but through inheritance, through the oldest mechanism of biological transmission in existence. Once those viral sequences entered the germline, they were in for good. But what evolution did with them next is what elevates this from a biology lesson into something truly extraordinary. The placenta code. Here is where the story stops being merely fascinating and becomes genuinely breathtaking. In the year 2000, a team of researchers studying a protein called syncytin-1 made a discovery so unexpected it initially seemed like a laboratory error. Syncytin-1 is a protein absolutely critical to the formation of the placenta. Without it, the placental lining cannot fuse properly. And without a functional placenta, mammalian pregnancy, as we know it, is biologically impossible. So where does syncytin-1 come from? A virus, not metaphorically, not as analogy. Literally, directly, from an ancient retrovirus that infected a primate ancestor approximately 25 million years ago. The gene the virus used to fuse cells together. A molecular trick retroviruses used to invade neighboring cells, was co-opted by evolution and repurposed to build the placental lining. The virologist Thierry Heidmann, who helped uncover this discovery, described it as one of the most unexpected examples of viral domestication in the history of evolutionary biology. And it did not happen just once. Scientists have since identified multiple syncytin-like genes across different mammalian species, each derived from a different ancient retrovirus. Evolution kept discovering the same trick. Take viral fusion machinery, repurpose it for reproduction. Without ancient viral DNA live birth, as we know it would not exist. You were born because a virus rewrote an ancestor's genome millions of years ago. But you would be wrong to think the placenta was the only thing viruses built inside us. Immune system code. The viral contribution does not stop with reproduction. Your immune system, the most sophisticated defense network biology has ever produced, is also partially running on ancient viral code. When retroviruses inserted themselves into our ancestors' genomes, some landed in positions where their own genetic control sequences, the switches that tell viral genes when to activate, began influencing nearby human genes. Over millions of years, the human immune system co-opted these viral regulatory switches for its own purposes. Researchers at the Salk Institute have identified that ancient viral sequences help regulate hundreds of genes involved in immune response. When your body detects a new viral infection, ancient viral DNA activates viral remnants from millions of years ago, helping fight new viral threats. Ancient enemies becoming modern defenders. Your body fights viruses using the remnants of old viruses. And there is more. In early embryonic development, In the very first days after conception, a massive wave of ancient viral sequences activates simultaneously. This activity appears to be essential for the embryo to develop past its earliest stages. Researchers at the University of California found that blocking these ancient viral sequences in mouse embryos caused development to fail entirely. The pathogen that once threatened your ancestors has become the guardian of your earliest moments of life. And the next chapter reveals what happens when these ancient sequences stop following the rules. Still running now. Here is the detail that makes even experienced virologists pause when they try to explain it. Most ancient viral sequences in the genome have been degraded over millions of years, broken down by accumulated mutations until they can no longer produce functioning proteins. They are like ancient ruins, structurally present but no longer operational. But some of them have not broken down. Some of them are still transcribed, still active, still producing proteins inside your body right now as you are watching this. The most studied example is a family called HERV-K, human endogenous retrovirus K. Unlike most ERVs, HERV-K sequences retain intact open reading frames. They can still produce viral proteins. Researchers have confirmed HERV-K protein expression in the developing human embryo, in human brain tissue, and across a range of other human tissues. Ancient viruses are not just silent passengers in your genome. Some of them are still speaking. The function of these still active sequences is actively debated. Some researchers believe these proteins serve structural roles in development. Others believe they represent something more extraordinary, a form of biological immune memory. Viral sequences that trained your ancestors' immune systems to recognize similar retroviruses, and that continue running as a standing genetic alert across millions of years of time. Your genome carries the memory of every viral war your ancestors ever fought and survived. But what happens when this ancient running code gets switched on in the wrong way is where the story enters its darkest chapter. Dark connections. Here we reach the part scientists are still working to fully understand, because this ancient viral inheritance cuts both ways. The same sequences that helped build the placenta and regulate your immune system are also implicated in some of humanity's most devastating diseases. This is not a contradiction. It is a consequence. When you carry ancient code that can influence gene expression on a genome-wide scale, the margin between beneficial and catastrophic is razor thin. HERV-K and a related family called HERV-W have been found to be abnormally reactivated in multiple sclerosis patients. The proteins they produce appear to trigger inflammatory responses that destroy myelin, the protective sheath around nerve cells. Researchers at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden found elevated HERV-W expression in a significant proportion of schizophrenia patients, and the association is strong enough that clinical trials are now actively testing antiviral drugs as potential schizophrenia treatments. Ancient viral code reactivated, and the consequences are devastating. In cancer, particularly testicular, breast, and certain brain cancers, HERV-K reactivation has been consistently documented. Viral proteins disrupt normal cellular regulation, switching off tumor suppression mechanisms the genome spent millions of years developing. The ancient code that built us is also the code that can unmake us. It is the ultimate double-edged inheritance. But even knowing all of this, the placenta, the immune system, the disease connections, none of it fully prepares you for what the next revelation shows us about what viruses actually did to the story of human evolution itself. Viral architects, and this is the revelation that changes everything. For decades, the assumption was that ancient viral sequences were passive passengers, hitchhikers that survived because evolution lacked an efficient mechanism to remove them. They were tolerated, not chosen. But the evidence now tells a completely different story. Natural selection, the most ruthless and unforgiving editor in the entire history of life, has been actively selecting for certain ancient viral sequences, not merely tolerating them, choosing them, keeping specific viral genes because they made organisms more fit, more capable, more likely to survive. Chosen by evolution. The syncytin genes did not survive by accident. The immune-regulating ERV sequences did not survive by accident. When researchers compare human, chimpanzee, and gorilla genomes, The ERV sequences, shared across all three species, show unmistakable genetic signatures of positive selection, meaning evolution actively fought to preserve them across tens of millions of years of change. Some of the most significant innovations in mammalian evolution were made possible by viruses. Viruses did not just infect us, they helped design us. The architects of the human body are written into our genes. Ancient viruses are co-authors of the human blueprint. They negotiated an arrangement with life itself, and that arrangement is still executing inside you right now. If this truth deserves to travel far, share this video with as many people as you possibly can. And tell me, was this viral evolution a design or history's most spectacular accident? Comment architect or accident below. Your viral self. Now we resolve the question I asked you at the very beginning. The viral instruction so critical to human existence that without it, none of us would be here. It is the syncytin gene, but it goes far beyond one gene. It goes beyond the placenta and the immune system and the embryonic development pathways. What this entire body of evidence reveals is something about the nature of life itself, about what it actually means to be human. When you look in the mirror, you are looking at a collaboration between primate evolution and ancient viruses, between DNA that is undeniably human and DNA that originated in pathogens that predate civilization, agriculture, written language, and all of recorded history by millions of years. You are not just human. You are a living archive of ancient viral survivors. The virus did not lose. It did not disappear. It became your ancestors, and your ancestors became you. Every one of the approximately 37 trillion cells in your body carries this ancient viral code as part of its core instruction set. You are part virus. Here is the final thought I want to leave you with. The fact that you exist at all, that any human being exists, is partly thanks to the ancient viruses that once threatened the lives of creatures who had no idea they were changing the future of all life on Earth. The enemy became the blueprint. The invader became the architect. The pathogen became you. Your genome is 8 million years of survival, written in a language we only began reading 20 years ago. And we have barely scratched the surface of what it says. You started this video as a human being. You are ending it as something slightly more complicated and infinitely more remarkable. The history of life is written inside you one viral letter at a time. The 8% of your genome that came from ancient viruses is not an error in the code. It is not contamination. It is evidence of billions of years of biological negotiation. And your ancestors won every single round of that negotiation. We did not evolve in isolation. Every major leap in mammalian complexity was shaped by something that was trying to destroy us. Every time you breathe, think, feel, and remember, ancient viral code is running quietly in the background, doing its work. The instructions from 8 million years ago are still being executed, right now, inside you. The most alien thing on Earth has always been living inside you. If you made it all the way here, to the final minute, comment ancient code below, not just to prove you watched, but because only the genuinely curious find their way to the end of a video like this. You are one of them. Ancient code lives on. The truth is stranger than anything you could make up. If that just rewrote how you see yourself, hit subscribe, because next time it gets even stranger.